old folks, everybody come to Kids Club and have a lot of fun. Please check your chewing gum and raisins at the door, and we'll tell you Bible stories that you never heard before. Hello, children. I'm Pastor Ted. Get ready. I'm going to read the Bible. You're going to hear a story. Today's story is about Jesus' disciples and apostles. When you and I learn about Jesus in school or in Kids Club, we are disciples. When we tell others about Jesus, then we are apostles. Jesus had hundreds of disciples, but on the day of Pentecost, those disciples became apostles, and 12 of them are special. Look at this painting. Can you find Jesus? There he is in the center. This was painted by Leonardo da Vinci in Italy many hundreds of years ago, and it tells the story. I'm going to read it in John chapter 13, verse 21. Jesus in the center speaks and says, "Very truly I tell you, one of you will betray me." All the disciples get upset. Can you see how upset they are? Now we have a copy of this painting in our Cross and Crown Church. You should walk around and look at the walls. See if you can find a copy of this painting, The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. Now, we're going to tell the story of one of Jesus's disciples. This one is Simon the Zealot. See the purple arrow? Simon's on the end of the table. Now, what is a zealot? Well, we know zealots today. We call them activists. Do you know any activists who might have been marching in the streets for Black Lives Matter or some important cause of justice? Well, Simon was like that. He was an activist. He did not like the fact that the Roman Empire was ruling over his nation. So he was a Jewish nationalist. And when we use the word zealous today, we mean activist. So you and I are zealots for Jesus, or we could say, I am zealous for Jesus. Can you repeat that after me? I am zealous for Jesus. We'll say it together. I am zealous for Jesus. Not jealous, zealous. Tell your mommy and daddy, I am zealous for Jesus. Well, when Simon became an apostle and traveled around the ancient world telling the story of Jesus and why it is significant, he got to Persia, and the legend has it that people didn't like him. They didn't like him at all, and so they put him to death. And the way they did it, you're not gonna like what I'm gonna say. It was just awful. They used a saw to cut his body in half. Oh, it's so gruesome. Well, that explains why in art we'll see pictures of Simon carrying a saw, and that saw just reminds us of his gruesome death. But Saint Simon was a person of courage. He was zealous for Jesus. Now you and I can say one more time, I am zealous for Jesus. Say it with me. I am zealous for Jesus.
Young folks, old folks, everybody come to Kids Club and have a lot of fun. Please check your chewing gum and raisins at the door, and we'll tell you Bible stories that you never heard before. Goodbye, kids.